event in Westminster in the Parliament in the UK a couple of weeks ago, and actually there was a really nice presentation. They were talking about, the bottlenecks of how you get, again, we've talked about this a lot actually in this webinar, how you translate something, and it is a bottleneck. There's lots and lots of discoveries. There's thousands of papers that are being published every year with, what could be potentially interesting innovations and discoveries, but actually hardly any of them get translated. And to me, that's the bigger concern, because we're pouring millions, if not billions, of taxpayers' pounds and dollars into funding basic research, discovering things, and the default seems to be not to translate the interesting things or useful things you've discovered, but the default seems to be to try and discover more things. We're sort of locked into this cycle of, this cult of novelty where we go on and on and on trying to find new stuff, rather than saying, well, hang on a second, we've discovered that, I don't know, you can make astaxanthin in transgenic plants, and astaxanthin could be a really useful, is a necessary ingredient for both aquaculture, for fish farming, but also as an ingredient in foods to make foods more nutritious and blah, blah, blah. So why don't we translate that? But actually the default seems to be usually to say, okay, well, you found astaxanthin, so can you go away and find something new, something different? And that's the sort of problem I think that we have, as a community, that we're sort of locked into this sort of almost concept that novelty, there is merit in novelty in itself. Well, actually in patents, the key thing for a patent, it has to be novel, but it also has to have utility. So, and I think that's something we as a community would be better off focused on making sure that we combine utility with novelty.